Welcome to episode 52 of the Slabbed podcast, where the grades matter and there are no rules. How you doing, Professor O?
What's up, dude? I'm good, man. How are you doing?
Doing good. After chatting you for the last hour, I'm excited to get the episode rolling, and it's good. We should have uploaded 2 episodes today, talking about our current existence and life outside of this podcast. That's what the people want.
Yeah, life conversations, right? Yes. Well, what I talked about is very secret, so I can't talk about that, right? Actually, but because nobody knows about that yet. But yes, it's there's always conversations for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
Even the weather, right? Like you guys are freezing your butts right now, and not so much. It's cold here. It has been cold. We've had cold weather, I will say, but not your cold.
Yeah, it's getting better. We're getting closer to March, and it'll get better. There's light at the end of the tunnel. What?
Did you build a snowman this winter?
No, that'd blow my back. I guess I could do a small one probably, but I can't do like the ones on the TV show like Frosty. That'd blow my back out trying to lift that thing up.
It's hard work. I remember doing it as a kid. Even as like a big kid, I remember doing it back in England, and I'd be like exhausted. It takes forever rolling it, and it is. It's a lot of work. We used to have a lot of snowball fights, though. That was fun.
Oh yeah, I love every chance I get. I throw them at my kids. Even yesterday, we went to Coney Island for a dinner, and smoking with some snowballs. It's always feels good. Always.
Love it.
Anyways, let's jump into it. So, our boy, Catch 'em All Collectibles, shout out to those guys at the Pokey Flips podcast. Had us on there a while ago. He had said in his spicy comment that James Z&G Emporium will abandon us again within 12 months, and Nick will barely clear the low hurdle he set on his promise. What do you think? That's dark. That's dark.
I used to love James just like talking shop. It just like chat. It just do videos about whatever was going on. Right? Like it was so fun. I used to love it. It really was. It was enjoyable watching him and him doing stuff and like Lauren in the background, like shouting stuff from the other room. And I don't know. It was a lot of fun. And it was sad, seeing him not being as present, I guess, in this side of stuff, but for good reasons. Like he's done fantastic with the business. I can't help but, celebrate it and be excited about it. So just selfishness on me, wanting more of his content, obviously. But Nick, bro, Nick can do it. You got some wiggle room there, bro. Right? Like you can stream eBay, live and put some time in there. That probably sucks up a lot of your energy. But like, just hit live while you're packing orders, bro. Roll with it. Like, talk to us.
Yep, could be. I think Pokey does something like that.
Yeah, that's the cheat code, right? If I was sat at my desk, like packing eBay orders all morning, trying to catch up from the craziness last night, just go live, chat with people, have fun, pour a cup of tea. Why not?
When was the last Z&G Emporium video you watched?
I didn't see. I've got his watch later. I've got him in watch later for that one that he just did like a day or two ago. But it was he did like the episode 1 of like or whatever it was called of the new version that he's doing, and then the second one, and then I think there's a third. I think it's the third one I've got saved. I don't think there's a fourth. Maybe there's a fourth. But I watched the first couple. I've got them on watch later. I've just been, the weekend was busy. I haven't watched anything actually. I'm behind. What about you?
Yeah, I've watched them all. And the way you made it sound originally, it sounded like you didn't realize he was making content still or remaking it. So,
well, I listened to those first couple. He was sat on his like patio thing talking and stuff, and
Yeah, I think Catchball's wrong in the both fronts. I think James understands the value of what is YouTube, even though like obviously AdSense is trash. Kind of like what I was telling Nick when I was speaking to him through the podcast last week. I think he understands like the connection and the different things, and just having it kind of documented is kind of cool. And
Yes.
I think he'll be constant with what he's doing. He's not really having to think too hard to make videos. It's just going to come naturally doing what he's doing and that type of stuff. I do wish he kept the backlog of all the old videos, because you never know. Like people will keyword search some of those old videos and they'll see, oh, he posted something new. Let's dig into it. So there are those people that you are going to miss on connecting with because they would happen. I think Nick, again, I think hopefully I connected with him last week. He had made the comment that I should be a motivational speaker. Completely agree. That would be fun. That would be fun. And call me a little Dan Campbell from the Lions. He's a pretty motivational dude. I'd run through a wall after hearing him talk to me. And I think both of them are going to have no issues. I think Dan, more worried about Dan, to be honest.
Oh God.
Oh, show. Your turn, Spicy. Let's hear this, Spicy.
Would you listen to Nick though? Like while he's packing orders and doing stuff, just chatting, like you could ask him questions and
Yeah, well, during the workday is usually when I listen to that type of stuff, and it's just listening, not so much interacting. Yeah, I'd turn it on. Like I've been listening to a lot of sports radio during the day because they do it live on YouTube now, which is awesome. Man, it's a good time to be alive. So we'll get into that.
My spicy topic this week is too many of y'all are way too vanilla with your spicy topics. Just saying.
Xbox is greater than PlayStation.
Okay. See you on the flip side, sucker.
Yeah. No cap. No cap. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Let's. I want to talk about something Java said, Mr. Java Okuma.
R.I.P. Let him have it. Java
Akuma. He, in a good way. I'm excited. He was talking about in the Discord Power World, the new game that's released and everyone's going crazy for, and it's exciting and it's clearly a Pokemon ripoff, but people love Pokemon, so why not? And they're playing the game, downloading it, setting all these records with Steam and most concurrent players and all this kind of stuff, and people are just going nuts. And there's a few things that I think are interesting with that. First of all, Java was talking about in Discord, and he said that people are kind of like yearning for a better version of creature capture. And I was like, that is such a succinct way of saying it, because I just feel like that touches so many aspects of like what we do, like especially with Pokemon, like the game, capturing creatures, the show, the guy Ash is literally capturing creatures. We're capturing creatures with the cards, you know, even though it's artworks of them, like that is what we're doing. Just so many avenues with that I thought it was just, I don't know, it just give a ring to it. So yeah, shout out Java, I love that. But building off that with Power World, so the game is a crazy success. It's like Fortnite and Pokemon mixed together in my eyes from what I've seen so far. So does that mean we're getting a card game? Does that mean we're getting collectible cards? Does that mean we're going to look at comics? Like what's next for Power World? Because if they've already ripped off the game and had crazy success, why not do everything else that Pokemon's done? Anime, you know, cards, like new different twists on games and stuff. My mind's racing. Like what the potential is there. They've clearly made a lot of money. They spent $6 million making the game, which is nothing. You probably made a crazy amount, and investors banging at the door right now. What's next? Like, this isn't MetaZoo. Like, this is a whole other kettle of fish. Like, this is crazy. So I'm just curious what your thoughts are on potential. Do you think they would stick to games? I mean, Fortnite did cards, like, and that's huge in the game world. They've made a ridiculous amount of money there. They don't need to do that.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Before the podcast, I didn't even know what Pal World was. I heard Javo going and playing a Pokemon game with guns in it. And I think I might have even watched that for a minute or listened to it. Probably didn't watch it because I didn't understand what was going on. So it seems pretty insane. Like we said, Fortnite meets Pokemon, and watching the 30-second clip, it's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah.
The art style reminded me of like new gen Pokemon games, but much better graphics, looks more fluid, it looked better. But it looked like there was a lot of ripoffs of our Pokemon. Like you can only create so many freaking creatures that breathe fire. Like eventually they're gonna look the freaking same. Yeah, it's interesting in the thought of the cards. Like, the reason Pokemon's so successful is because the video games came out, and then people were like attached, and they're like, "Wait, these are collectible cards now," and then it just exploded. So it'd be really interesting if they follow the same. Like, obviously, it was an anime too early on, before the cards came out, but I don't know if they need to do that.
One Piece, right? Jover again, like. One Piece their cards have gone crazy.
Yeah, I think it's just getting the number of fans that like it. So they sold 6 million copies in 4 days. We're at about 5 days now. I was gonna see real quick how many like copies of Grand Theft Auto or the new Pokemon Scarlet sales in 1 week. 10 million units worldwide.
In the first week.
Yeah, so that's pretty huge. They're gonna hit that number. And that's Scarlet and Violet. And 4 million copies in Japan in the first week. So it already beat Japanese consumption of Pokemon in the first week of release. Now, granted, it is something new. It is on Steam. It's a Steam release. I don't think Pokemon never releases on Steam. Like, that's a whole nother animal. So, yeah, that's crazy statistic. 10 million Scarlet and Violet, the third best-selling Pokemon game series. And Pal World's about to beat it on opening weekend. Wowzer.
Everyone's talking about it. Everyone. It's huge.
Yeah, apparently I've been in a freaking under a rock or something because it's interesting. Very interesting. Cards are coming though. If like that success, like
right, it's got to be.
Yeah, then you're gonna get cards with guns on it. I don't know. They could spin it in so many different ways. See what happens.
I'm just thinking of like the Fortnite cards and the One Piece cards and all the stuff from like modern things and games and shows. They're doing it. There must be some money in it. Like they've got to be cheap to make and produce or something. I don't know. People have been going crazy for a lot of those cards, and it's clearly still a market for it. PSA is grading a bajillion every month. Like there's
I wonder what like the gender crossover is for Pal World. Like how many female downloads versus male? Because Pokemon is pretty diverse. Like it's crazy.
Ages too. Yeah,
it's crazy. Whereas it's probably all people over the age of 18 to be able to buy it and download it. It's rated mature probably.
Yeah, but I mean, there's 10-year-olds that play Grand Theft Auto, right? Like I'm sure they're getting a hold of it.
That's just bad parenting, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Spicy topic number 2.
Yeah. Don't let your 7-year-old go to this titty bar inside a Grand Theft Auto, please. Jesus Christ. It made me who I was today, though.
Live and learn. Yep.
Yep. That's how I learned how to drive, bro. Driving those Banshees down those back roads. Come on. For sure. Definitely applied most of that. So you gonna buy it?
Bro, I haven't got time to do my laundry. I am so busy right now. I don't have time. My Switch is covered in dust. I'm just too busy. I got too much to work on. But if I did have the time, that's what I'd be doing right now. Like if I had nothing to do tomorrow evening, I'd probably go play that game that everyone's playing. It looks fun as hell.
Yeah.
It looks really fun.
It'd be funny if they like kind of ripped off Mewtwo for the first game. I wonder how many pals there are. It's probably 152. Yes.
152.
Yes.
That's funny. I'll say like 400. I think they've probably gone crazy.
Currently 137. Legendaries to be released, probably 151.
DLCs, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, good call.
Wowzer. They're going for the freaking jugular.
Power World 2nd Gen. Yeah, I mean it looks. I mean it's Pokemon ripoff for sure. Everyone knows it. I don't know how they managed to win all the lawsuits, but I guess
those have always been the most successful phone game apps, though. I swear, if you go to like top games,
yeah,
half of them are trying to be Pokemon.
Are you Android?
Of course.
Yeah, that's
no other option.
I don't think I've seen many Pokemon ripoffs on Apple.
That's for sure. Yeah, you guys you're treated like 13-year-olds when you have iPhones.
Yeah, we got like Fruit Ninja.
Yeah, you
like
rocking the Candy Crush still, brother.
Oh God.
Jeez. Yeah,
you
I like
that.
Yeah, that's Stark. All right. Another comment. Sports cards. I've been doing a lot of digging into sports cards in the last 2 weeks. Like I've been searching a lot more sports cards in Pokemon in the last 2 weeks, probably because of what's been occurring here in the state of Michigan. University of Michigan winning the national championship, and then the Lions now going to the NFC championship this weekend, which is absurd. So yeah, I've actually yesterday acquired a rather awesome sports card in memory kind of the Lions season to be announced. To be announced when I get it in hand. I cannot freaking wait. It is a awesome card. Lions are kicking booty, and I'm excited, dude. Have you been watching football at all? I know you don't.
No, I would love to. I've just been so busy. Yeah, no, I haven't.
Crazy. Oh yeah, we did just whoop Tampa Bay's ass, I guess.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
Both of them, the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Buccaneers were in Detroit on the same night, and they both got clapped. That was nice.
Thank God you guys can't play baseball.
That's not a real sport.
Take the Rays out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're gonna wait till you got it in hand before you do a little chit chat on it. It sounds like it's an exciting one.
It is pretty awesome. A comparable Patrick Mahomes card is $130,000 of the same rarity, but it's Patrick Mahomes. It's not a Patrick Mahomes card, which is pretty cool. I'm excited for it.
Is it your Patrick Mahomes though? Is that why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I have a bunch of sports cards, primarily Detroit sports legends I've mentioned before. Mm-hmm. And rookie cards all over the place for these guys. So got another one. The most expensive sports card I've ever purchased, and hopefully the last one I ever purchased.
Probably not.
Probably. Hopefully it is. I need to stop. For sure.
All right. Well, yeah, you put on there too, Super Bowl.
Yes, SDC had made the comment. I forgot about it. Yeah, that Oak watches Super Bowl just for the commercials. Is that true?
When's the Super Bowl? I thought that was normally in January.
February 1st weekend.
Okay, so it's soon, right? I thought it was normally like the end of January kind of time. How
No,
do they
so-
work out when it is?
So the NFC Championships on the 28th. Then they get a week off. So the week after the 4th, so the 11th, is the Super Bowl.
Okay, so like
February. 2 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so close. I thought it was about now, yeah. Yeah, STC. He said that I watched the Super Bowl for the commercials.
Do you even watch the Super Bowl?
For the commercials, apparently.
Was a spicy topic.
Halftime show. I think everyone likes watching the commercials, right? They're generally top tier. Like they're the fun, the most money spent on, the most like highest impact kind of commercial they would want to do. So yeah, I'm here for it. But I do actually like watching football. I've been to you mentioned Tampa Bay, I've been to see the Bucks and Redskins and stuff. I've been to plenty of football games and even catered one back when I was a chef. Like I catered one at a high school and saw it live, and that was a really fun, energetic game. Like high school football is wild. The band's out and like everyone's jumping around and cheering, and yeah, it was bananas. It was crazy, and yeah, I love it, honestly.
Me too. Not the commercials, and care less.
About halftime show.
When the commercials come on, my big ass goes get more food, and then I sit down, and then the game's back on. Halftime show is okay. I watch that. We always turn up the volume, and it's a good show. Usually, I don't even know who Usher. I think Usher's doing it this year in Vegas. Yeah.
He's got to be going gray. All right, so next one I wrote on there. I've seen comments in Discord and other places before talking about pillars of the hobby. I know we've talked about it and referenced people of that as being a pillar of the hobby, but what is that? Like, what do you view someone as a pillar of the hobby? Like, how do we define that?
A pillar to me holds things up. So without them, we wouldn't be where we are being held up. So big scale. And maybe not a Pokemon content creator. Like you could think of like some of the people that were, I don't know names, but some of the people that carried tournaments and when Pokemon was dying and they kept it going. Like those people kept it going. Gary King Pokemon, of course, was doing everything. Ken Golden, you could say. I recently watched his video, him shilling the crap out of the Neo Premium collections. That was hilarious. 10 out of 10, do recommend. I don't know, like I don't think Ken Golden's a pillar now, but at one point, he was like shilling Pokemon's brains out, creating the hobby what it is today. Now I would probably say the Pokerevs, still probably Gary King Pokemon, the Real Breaking Nates, like Unlisted Leaf, people that are doing the most for the hobby and getting the most eyes on it. Those are the people that are pillars. Like if a pillar falls, you get hurt. Like the building is not doing so well. If Pokerev drops out tomorrow, it's going to take a hit. It's going to not feel good. If he decides he wants to start doing MetaZoo content again, it ain't going to be good. It could save MetaZoo. Like, think about it. If Pokerev, well, maybe not. His challenges might die. I don't know if anything's saving it right now. But, yeah. But then, like, you could think of depends on what scale you like. When I think of that, I think mass Pokemon scale, pillars like the CEO. Those are the pillars. Probably different than a Mount Rushmore.
See, I think I've been, maybe it's subjective. Obviously, it's not like an objective thing. I think I've always been kind of viewing the pillars of the hobby comments and like people saying that kind of stuff as pillars of their hobby, or like that person's hobby, that kind of thing. Because I've seen people say, excuse me, that certain people are a pillar of the hobby that are nothing like what you just described, like not even close in terms of reach and volume and fan base, followers, that kind of stuff. Just nothing like it. For instance, you and I, like I've heard people refer to us as pillars of the hobby, and I can't help but like obviously feel imposter syndrome with that. The thought of that is hard to stomach in a sense, but maybe we are for that person a pillar of their hobby, because I kind of feel there's a little bit for me where I look at the people that I follow, and those few people that I'm subscribed to, and most of them are watching this and listening to this each week, they are the hobby for me in terms of like this realm. So for me, very heavy pillars, like much heavier than Leonhardt that I'm not subscribed to, or Bugarev that I'm not subscribed to. Like for my hobby, they're not a pillar. But obviously, the hobby is.
That's the way I took it. That was the way you worded it,
right? And I think that's where like my view on it comes in different in terms of my own little world of it.
Your own little hut with different pillars is completely different. Same as mine. I wouldn't include any of those people. I'm not subscribed to any of those people. So yeah, they're not what keeps the hobby going for me and keeps it alive and well and structured.
Yeah. I don't want to call names. Someone was saying it earlier in Discord. Just saying that, talking about pillars of the hobby, and it's difficult to accept that, I guess.
So
I think of that.
You have your own. You're in your Professor Oak hut. It's got 4 pillars holding up the wall, holding up the roof. Knock one of the pillars out. Who's the pillar? And what's one of your 4 pillars? Like if they turned it all off tomorrow and we never saw them again, who's that impactful that would affect you? It would it would hurt your experience in the hobby if they disappeared off the face of the earth.
Oh, I'm gonna sound gay as hell, but for you, for sure. Like you hold a massive weight in the hobby for me. Like
I'm the center post. You gotta tell me one of the corner ones.
like for sure. Oh, I don't know. I think there's quite a few, and I think what I struggle with a little bit is that there's too many people that I want to listen to, and there's too many people on my watch later. I'm constantly trying to keep up on top of, and there's so many people I want to support and give recognition to, because they're trying and they're making content and making good content, and even the people that are making minimal content, there's just so many. There's so many. I wouldn't even know where to start with it, honestly.
Yeah. You got more than 4 pillars.
You've been become such like an integral part of it, of the foundation, I guess, for me. Excuse me. The foundation of the whole thing that, I don't know. My hobby hut, like you were saying, is massive. It just feels so big. Like I'm in
The
so many
stadium.
discords. I talk with so many different people in different discords about different things. Like, you know, I was talking about a She-Hulk that I just picked up in Swami's channel. I was talking with those guys, you know, and Dan and Melfi and everyone in there and showing them that. And I was in Dakota, Sports Card Anonymous. I was in his Discord talking with them about some cards and a couple other people about some stuff the other day. And I'm just like all over the place. I love it. There's just like, I want all the pillars. Give me all the pillars. Just support the whole thing for me. But I have just zero interest in a Pukarev pillar. Like for me, it's just not part of the hobby at all, really.
Be nice.
The hobby, I guess, but like,
yeah, obviously he's one of the bigger pillars, and yeah, for the hobby, just because of the impact he has. Whereas we impact.
And he knows it. He's not trying to do this. He's not. He doesn't want to do what we do. He's not part of this, like, people in the trenches with us kind of situation. Like, he knows what he's doing, and like, kudos to him. Like, he's having great success. It's inspiring to see for sure.
I don't know. I'd be curious to see someone ask him in the interview, like, do you thoroughly enjoy what you're doing? Like, would you rather do like his old PWCC live streams? Like, I feel like that's when he liked doing what he was doing, and now it's.
Do you feel like it sold his soul a little bit?
It's a salary. He's getting paid. He's doing, obviously, like, you can't be that happy all the time. Like, it's absurd. Yeah, I'd be curious. Like, who knows? We won't ever probably know. But yeah, interesting stuff. Yeah, you definitely have a like a stadium-sized hut.
Yeah,
hobby hut.
It's fun.
That mine's like a lean-to, I'd say. No.
Oh god. Okay, so last week I made the comment that ruffled some feathers a little bit. People definitely had some daggers out. I said that local game stores suck because of what you were saying with your spicy topic. And honestly, like, I meant what I said, but not in the way that I think most people took it. I'm not trying to defend myself right now. Like, it's spicy comment, like, bring the spice. Come on. But like, I don't have local game stores around me. That's why they suck. Like, literally, the only one close to me has everything at double MSRP. So my personal experience in this area sucks with game stores. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, that's not spicy even for me. Like, I don't have any good game store around here where I can go buy something or be a part of the hobby. Yeah. That sucks. Like, that sucks. You guys should think that for me, that sucks for me too, right? Like, I want to have a good game store near me. I'm jealous of you guys. I'm jealous of not being able to drive to Cardinal Gaming and go see the guys and look at some cars, do a couple of trades or whatever, you know, sell some bulk. I don't know. Like, honestly, like, for me, like, in this area, like, this suck. Simple as. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Don't feel your pain. Don't feel it. I got so many. I
just got a nice new one.
Yeah, I got hobby shops coming out the ass, man. It's amazing. Yeah, within 10 minutes, I could go to. One of them is Magic Central, but they have Pokemon, Lorcana, One Piece. It's a massive place. And then the other one is much smaller, but it has primarily Pokemon, Magic. And then the new one's sports, and they have all the freaking grading things I could ever want, boxes and sports cards and some random Pokemon. So I've never felt the pain living in like a metro area, but you live in the city too, which is insane to me that there's not something within 10, 15 minutes to go to. I don't know. Sports and hobbies in Michigan are absurd. I think it's probably a lot to do with it being winter 5 months out of the effing year and we're stuck inside. Probably helps.
Yeah, it could be that.
I don't know. But yeah, I don't feel the pain. I feel what you're saying though. I think you might have covered it up a little bit. I feel like you said it and then you're like, I'm gonna add this at the end because it would have.
I saw someone say that. Yeah.
It sounded like you kind of hesitated. You're like, Okay, and then I mean this, like, kind of covered the tracks a little bit. But yeah, Mason came. He's like, local game stores suck, and I took that personally. Whoo, boy, you better watch yourself.
I love that he brought a meme to it. I mean, for real though, like they just suck for me. Like they do. Like, and I've just explained why. You know, I hope that makes sense to everyone. But I can tell you, if I lived near Mason, like I'd have a very different outlook on what game stores are. I just haven't had that experience.
Yeah.
Even in England, like the guys at the game store where I bought, you know, some Pokemon cards, like very few. I don't have any money, but when I saved up and I bought my Game Boy Color and I bought Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Crystal and stuff back in the day as a kid, that store sucked. Like those guys were not friendly. They like looked at because I was a little kid, like they looked at me like I was an idiot. The prices were all jacked up, they were all over MSRP. Like I didn't have a good experience even then when I did have a game store near me as a kid. And they had no selection, like of anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I maybe if I move to a different area, it'd be a different experience for me. But right now, I haven't had much locally a good experience. And Mason knows where I'm at. Like I've ordered stuff from him probably 10 times. I've done plenty of orders from him. I've done live breaks. I've ordered stuff. I have his freaking mat on my desk, for God's sake. Like I've got his hat behind me. Like huge fan. Like it's not just a Mason of his store. Like he has good stuff, good prices, good quality cards. I got a bunch of Pikachus I've bought from him. He's awesome. So he knows. He knows his memeing. He knows what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Pikachu, on the other hand, decided to take it super harsh. And he said LGSs actually just suck. I don't know, bud. Again, I feel like you're hurt somehow. Somebody, you probably walked into one day and it had super, like there are bad LGSs. Like you can go to some that have, like you said, crazy dumbass prices, or the not too interpersonal. They're awkward. They don't talk to you at all, and you're trying to find something. I don't know. You could have bad experiences, but I don't know. I feel like they're at least doing something for the community most of the time. So I'd be curious to see you elaborate why they just suck. Maybe you just threw it out there to be spicy because it is. But I don't know. I have not had that experience. Like I've gone in some stank ones that smell like booty cheeks, but I don't mean they suck. I mean, it means they suck at staying clean. But
I've been in a few places that smell like that.
Yeah. Yep. Happens. Real quick, the related comment, kind of TKK collector. He had said local game stores have to balance their desire to get you in there and with their desire to not have you overstay your welcome. Many don't make newbies feel welcome as their Magic players look up from their playmat and the poor sales guy has to meander over to the cash register away from his key clientele. Now, feel this for sure. At some game stores you go to, the people behind the counter are just like ignorant to the fact that you want to be helped without, and then maybe someone complain. Not like you'd be like, well, maybe the motherfucker's busy. Like maybe he is. Like I don't know. Maybe like if I'm staying there for 10 minutes, you better get your ass over there and at least talk to me instead of trying to hit on this Yu-Gi-Oh or something. Like what are we doing? Yeah, you could have some issues like that. Like I understand TKK. I understand. What do you think?
It sounds like that's coming from a very real place, right? Like TKK is, he's a seller, so he gets it. But I think I'm getting a vibe that there's maybe a lack of customer service love there. A love for the service industry aspect of it, which kind of speaks to like local game stores, like maybe needing to up that a little bit, and maybe if there is a bit more of, like Mason, some personality, some love, some passion in there with an awesome crew, maybe that'd make a difference. Like the idea of the sales guy having to go to the cash register, like being an inconvenience, is really sad to me because isn't that like the job, like to get customers and to sell and upsell and to like be the support person for it? Like that's what it's all about. Surely having a game store is someone walking in the door and you wanting to make them spend as much as possible and be as excited about as many things as possible.
Yeah, it's
Right?
weird because most people that work at game stores are really awkward nerds. And the people going into game stores are the same people. Usually, like people that work at them love going to them and they consume a lot of the products. So it's a weird, awkward on awkward conversation or discussion. Like, hey, you into those new Magic the Gathering cards? He's like, bitch, no, I just play Pokemon. You can't tell that by them shoes I'm wearing. Like, it's just really awkward. Two awkward people. Me dealing with engineers all the time. Those are very awkward people. Like, you got to get them out of the shell. And then if you got two awkward people one trying to buy or one trying to sell, I couldn't imagine. It's like two Magikarps going at it. It'd be insane.
I think the difficult there, like it's talking about balance there on the customer service side, but just in general, I think it must be difficult hiring for a game store where you need the person working there to know the same stuff as the customer. So you're essentially going to need to hire people that are your customers, right?
Yeah.
You just said it, like it's the same people.
Yep.
So they probably don't have the same mindset as a salesperson or as a customer service type person or someone that is more in like the service field almost. Those people in between that has a little bit of both, that's going to be very difficult to find. Like I don't know too many people that are just Pokemon card collectors that would be really good at working in a store selling that stuff. Like that's got to be a very small percentage of people in this hobby.
Sure. Yeah, most people that are good at sales don't want to sell cards because you're not going to make a lot of money. That's pretty like sales is a decent job, like other job you can do. Like even like furniture salesmen. Like you walk into those furniture stores and they're freaking like buzzards just coming around you trying to find you. Yep. They're working for a commission. They're making a decent amount of money if they're making sales. So even that could outperform card shop salary. So that'd be tough to find a good salesperson. That'd be an experience though. That'd be so fun. I'd love to do it. I'd love to do it for a month. That'd be so fun.
I mean, there's not many of us that do it, like collect cons and stuff. You know, there's not too many people that are in the selling field that don't like own a store anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, we definitely it's definitely weighted way heavier on the customer side of stuff, which is good. But yeah, interesting topic. There's some good comments there around that. I definitely spurred some thoughts, I think, with what we're talking about. You know, your comment and my comment about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So Just Jack said, collecting by artists is the best way to collect. I love collecting by artists. I have a couple. I think I've spoken it before, but I have a South binder that I'm always amazed how many cards she's actually made. Way more than I thought. But first, when I started collecting the cards, and then I have a Hayagana binder too, and a few other. I have a couple of little like piles of cards of the same ones. There's one called I want to say it's like 3013 or something. It has like a little number, and there's a couple of those, and yeah, honestly, it's fun. It's cool. The only thing I will say is that you're limited to what they like do, almost. There's almost like a little bit of limitation there because there is so many. And I feel like if you're collecting by set or if you're collecting by, I don't know, type or a specific Pokemon, you can go all the way back to its first ever card, like generally go back pretty far. A lot of the artists at the moment anyway are like fairly new. You don't have 10, 15 years worth of art there. So that's my thoughts on it. It's definitely fun, but I don't know if I'd say it's the best. It's one of.
Yeah, I think it's a cop out for collecting. I think you're not in the hobby if you just collect by artist. Because who wants a score bunny from your artist? Like, who wants some of these like oh, like I'm gonna fake I don't know, like who a zigzagoon, bro? Like, man, this dude just made this sick ass Zubat. I'm so excited. Like, it's a Zubat. Like, I'm good. Like, it could look cool, but you're not. I don't know. You're not a Pokemon fan. You're an art fan. It's kind of it's different.
That is it. It is a different mindset, because when I look at it, like, I'm looking at the pictures thinking that is so cool. Like the way that they did that. I honestly don't care about 90% of the Pokemon in those binders. It is the artwork, and it's the idea of like seeing that artist do different pictures in similar styles, but they still all tell a different story. It is different, for sure.
Yeah, like this card. Never in my life would I have known who the artist was until I just looked at it. Zero F's given. And maybe that's just me, but it's Ryota. Not even going to say the last name. I have no hard on to go find this dude's other cards he's done. Like, it looks cool.
Yeah.
But I like Miraidon and Koraidon. Those are just cool cards. I don't need his everyone. Like I said, I don't need a score bunny or a Zubat that this guy has done. Like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the artist things. I'm not a huge signature guy. That's all kind of ties in. Like, usually if you're an artist guy, you're definitely going to love signatures from at least that guy,
Yeah, I could see myself wanting a South signature. I don't think I have any signatures other than the people I adore in the hobby, but like artist-wise, I don't think I have anything.
Yeah, and yeah.
I could see it. I wouldn't spend money on it. Like, it wouldn't be like a $200 thing or anything crazy. Like,
yeah, best way to collect is dusted. I mean, if you're an art collector, but if you're a Pokemon collector, probably should do it by species or by Pokemon.
You know what would be really amazing is, you kind of alluded to it a little bit there, but if you're really collecting by artist, if you could somehow buy the original artwork.
I think it's in a vault.
I mean, most of it, I would imagine, is probably digital now. Anyway, it's difficult to technically even buy it, but there's got to be some original artwork out there somewhere.
It's probably that one dude that's grading all the test prints with Pokemon. I'm sure he's got a bunch. Or with PSA. He's probably got a bunch. One of the original creators.
Did that auction start?
Yeah, it's open auction.
Okay.
I think it's got like a month or something. I don't even know, 3 weeks.
What?
Yeah, I think it's part of the premiere auction or something.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah. RIP. Never gonna own that card. Okay, moving on. Mr. Ditto Faction. He said we are 5 years away from the opening or announcement of a Pokemon theme park in the US, because isn't there one in Japan like launching or launched already?
Pokepark. I mean, they've played around with that stuff. The only thing I think with it is they just don't have any damn expertise in that. Like, I feel like they've got their fingers in every pie, like every pie possible, but they're not in the industry of doing that stuff. who would they get to like make it and create it and run it? Like they would have to have some outsourcing, some kind of third party to support them with it, and it would be the biggest thing since sliced bread. I mean, literally, it would be the new Disney, right? It'd be huge. Everyone would want to go there.
If they made it that big. Like, have you
You'd
ever been
have to.
No. Have you ever
They
been
couldn't even go to a museum in Norway or whatever it was to like. They couldn't even handle that. There's a theme park, Pokemon themed. The whole world is gonna go batshit crazy.
You sell tickets online to certain gate entries.
They're shit at that. They can't do any of that. They can't handle that situation. They can't even handle selling a free card on PokemonCenter.com. Like, there's no way that they have any expertise or the right people in leadership to set up a theme park.
Yeah, well,
business doing that.
I was thinking like something Peppa Pig World size. Like, I don't know if you've ever been there, down in somewhere in South Florida, middle of Florida. But it's like smaller scale for kids like ages 7 to 3. And the adults are just there to take their kids. Like, the adults aren't there enjoying all these rides, and they don't fit on most of the rides. But it's more so like that, like playful for the kids. Like, here's a really, really small roller coaster, a really, really small other thing. That would be super adorable. And it would, but yeah. But there would be adults just going and being creepy.
Absolutely. Millions.
Yeah, I could see a line of Dans and Nicks just filling the entire there to buy all their plushies.
That alone, because they would have to do
Pokemon.
This is the Orlando Poke Park Christmas ornament, or the Orlando Poke Park with the little badge on it, and it's on friggin' eBay the next day after opening. Like, you just know it's just. I can't even. I'm like physically reacting because I just know how crazy that would be.
Is that why we don't have Pokemon centers?
I just think they can't handle it. They're just not good at that stuff at all. They can't even print Pokemon products.
They have Pokemon centers in Japan all over the freaking place. Why don't they have them here? They think Americans are crazy?
Japanese are efficient. I don't know. I mean, what do you want me to say?
Maybe
they also didn't have any product there. Java went there, filmed a video, and there was nothing there for him to buy.
Yeah, they ain't good business.
So, like, even the ones that are there, like, that doesn't sound like success to me. It doesn't sound like they're winning. You know what I mean? Like, I just think they're terrible at in-person activities and service and stuff. Like, they have a great IP. They do brilliant with it. But they need to channel it in small pockets and areas that they have done. Like what they know, tried and tested. They can't do anything new. They just can't. They're not good at that stuff.
Yeah.
Anything out of the box. Mm-mm. That might sound super spicy, but honestly, like I love Pokemon. Like huge of my whole life. Like I've been a huge fan, but very pessimistic on that one.
That'd be cool though. It'd be pretty cool.
Oh, it'd be amazing. I'd go for sure.
Would you go there? I'd probably take the kids there before Disney, to be honest. For my own selfish reason.
Not even a question. Disney sucked ass. It was red hot. There was lightning bolts coming down. And then it was like pouring and it was like 100 degrees. Bunch of weird European English people with like sandals and the white socks. And like everything's $60 to buy a Coke. Like it's just, yeah, Disney was intense. It was crazy. A Pokemon World, they would have to do it the right way, which would make it the best place on earth. I just don't believe they can do it.
Well, we'll get a PAL World before we get a Pokemon World of place.
PAL World.
PAL World. Yep. With a freaking laser tag area, shooting Pokemon.
A Nerf gun area, yeah. I love it. Someone's going to buy PAL World for sure. That development company, they're a Japanese development company. Like someone's going to, with how crazy that's been, like there's another chapter coming there for sure. I can
does Pokemon buy it and just delete it?
No, they they won't even sell cards in stores that have product that they don't agree with. Like they're very, very strict on.
No, that's what I mean. Just buy Pal World and just delete it and don't do anything with it. And just kill off.
I don't even think they'd associate even that close.
Yeah.
Honestly, maybe. I mean, maybe they do it through a different business name or something. I don't know. But even deleting it, like, still own it, even if it doesn't exist. Like, you still bought it. That's what people would focus on. Not good. Not all publicity is good publicity. Like,
stomp dog it.
Oh, baby. Okay, so if I am the immortal god. Said
Get that one.
I love saying that. Awesome username. Thank you. I'm the immortal god. Spicy forecast. Paldean Fates. We don't read these beforehand, just so you know. Like,
no.
Like I literally read these as they come. Paldean Fates will be massively overprinted on wave 1, forcing the market to crash down to 25 in ETB. The Pokemon Company International won't. I don't know what that says. Won't more for this reason, eventually making the lowest printed set of. Okay, so basically, I'm the Immortal God thinks that Paldean Fates is going to be the Crimson Invasion. It's going to be the trash set of.
Yeah, it won't print. It won't print more.
Oh, I see it. Okay. Yeah, so they're not going to print more
because it crashed. Yeah.
It's going to be the lowest printed set, but also the lowest price out the gate. So potentially room for growth there, kind of thing. Maybe. I mean, it seems like a fun set. It seems like there's going to be some fun cards in there. I've tried to stay away from spoilers, but I've unfortunately got a couple of pictures that I've seen. I don't know.
I think $25 is insane. How many packs do you get? 9?
In a regular ETB, yeah. So
$2.70 a pack.
You're talking a couple of bucks. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I haven't opened it yet.
Sell the promo for $5. Come on.
I need to.
It's a Mimikyu promo, isn't it? Mimikyu in that boy. Pretty sure it's Mimikyu.
25 feels low.
Yeah, just for the Mimikyu promo, it's got to be at least $5 for a while, I would say, because that thing I thought looked pretty cool. But call it $20 then for the rest of the contents divided by 9. You're looking at $2 a pack. I don't know about that. Like the $25 seems absurd. But I think we are due for a set to just be a friggin' stinker for sure. Like I feel like it's been a while. Like we call Scarlet Violet base a stinker. That is still $90 to $100. Chilling Rain at its low was in its 70s. We trashed that. I trashed that set enough last time we talked. That set is way worse than Scarlet Violet base, in my opinion. I don't know. I think I think $25 is out of this world. So I don't agree. I think 35 is probably the low end when it's bad, and they'll reprint it in a year because it'll still be in rotation if it drops out. So I don't know. I don't think this will be the set, but I feel like it could be happening here soon.
Yeah, I mean we've got a couple of sets coming out still. So
how long is the generation? Is it like 3 years? No.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
We've still got a while, but like this year, we still have a couple of sets coming out before even like the special set, that we'll be getting towards the end of the year. So there's potential for a crappy one, but I'm okay with them all being good. Like I don't want a trash set or a crappy one that doesn't do well. Like I want it to succeed, and I want this to be amazing artworks and cards that people are chasing. I want us to feel good about it. Kind of makes me feel crappy when people talk about like Sun and Moon base and Crimson Invasion and stuff like that. Like they're not that bad. It's just Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but if you're collecting artists, most of them you don't care about.
Bingo. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Jay Franks, Mr. Hot Dog. He said people focus too much on set popularity and not enough on species popularity. For example, Obsidian Flames doesn't seem to be the most well-received set so far this era. However, the Tyranitar and Charizard EX Secret Rares are pretty cool cards. English and Japanese versions are cheap 10s in both CDC and PSA slabs. Many other examples like this out there, but just my 2 cents and personal observation.
I sold a gem mint Charizard for 99 cents last weekend. The graded gem mint, and it sold 90 cents one bid. Like, there's a lot of the cards. Like, there's a lot of them out there in these species. But yeah, I kind of agree a little bit with it.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people like example Paldean Fates. People are like talking about the set popularity. Like, show me the top 10 polls, and if they're not like awesome Pokemon, the set isn't gonna be super awesome. Like the Obsidian Flames, I could see cooking in a while because it does have a nice Charizard and a nice Tyranitar. I'm curious what some of the lower end pulls are. Like, is there a cool reverse that is capable of getting, or is there a cool Pikachu or Gengar that's a non super rare card? Like, that stuff helps make it easier to open sets. Like, I think having some not so chasey cards but popular Pokemon be less popular. But yeah, species popularity for sure. If you're stonking like, that'll carry a set. Like, Evolving Skies got carried by the friggin' evolutions. Umbreon VMAX primarily.
I do see way more species collecting with slabs, and raw collecting seems to be more sets, in my experience, from what I've seen from people. Like, I don't remember many people that have like binders full of the same Pokemon. Now, obviously, you have Diglett or whatever. Like, there's people out there that do that stuff, but it seems more of a slab thing. Just you have Zapdos, like, it's just like that kind of thing, because that's where you want to have your cream of your crop almost. And yeah, I mean, it does feel like there's a lot of focus on set popularity, which we kind of just talked on a little bit. Like, I don't know, I'm okay with it. Like, I don't know, the Charizard doesn't make it for me. Like, you don't have to have that one big stonky card that everyone's loving, everyone's chasing. Like, I'd like for it to have cards that people love and enjoy and want to buy and spend money on, and that are doing well. So if I pull that and it's not what I want, I can sell it and try and get the one that I want, that kind of thing. Or I don't know. It's always fun pulling a good card, even if you don't want it. It's fun pulling a card that other people want. So this is a good conversation, though. That's a good comment for sure. English and Japanese is another story too. Like, that's a whole other conversation we could have, because a lot of the price differences, even with the same artworks, always is very surprising to me. It's the same Pokemon, the same artwork. Like you were saying there, you're talking about not caring about the artist, but like, even when it's the exact same artwork and the exact same Pokemon, because all it's saying is the name and the description is in a different text, but the price is like significantly different. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah. I like the English, though. Conditional rarity, baby. They don't know how to print cards.
Yeah. One day, maybe they'll get it. I don't know. They did try with, updating in Scarlet and Violet. We did get a new version of the cards, even different foiling and stuff. So we'll see. Maybe. Still time. Pokemon Wonder.
Mr. W.
It's live right now while we're talking. We're kind of a ghost of him right now, talking in the background. So Pokemon Wonder said price memory is the hindrance for you reaching your future collection and financial goals. Oh my God. I think that applies to this hobby. I feel like that applies to groceries, to cars, to houses, to wages. I feel like prices, since COVID, everything's just all over the place.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Like there's no control over price anymore for anything. Everything is, for me, very difficult to grasp in every direction. Everything feels crazy expensive, and everything feels like it used to be so cheap, so much cheaper. Can we get back to that? Just in general for everything. Like I don't. Then that is price memory, I guess. It just kind of is what it is. Do you feel that too? Do you feel like everything is just crazy since COVID?
No, like I feel like when I think price memory, the volatility is kind of what scares a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
They saw that, like, that's the most recent memory, right? 2020 is only 3-4 years ago. That's in the back of everybody's mind right now. I feel like I'd love to see some data on it, but I feel like, damn, it's been pretty flat. Like if you look at old school stuff, it's been pretty flat for a while. Probably not the biggest risk buying some of those higher end things now, but yeah, it's always still scary. This is a huge speculative investment, big time. Any of this crap, it could go to zero. Pal World could moonshot. Pokemon could die, and I'd be sitting here holding a bunch of bags, but I got some cool shit along the way. But yeah, it definitely plays with, like, I would love to have PSA 9 first edition base set cards again. The Hollows, I had all of them but the Charizard. Sold them at a great time because they just kept dropping after I sold them. Like I sold them during the falling knife. But yeah, I don't want to buy back into them for them to possibly go down again. I don't know, price memory, just Pokemon's scary. There's a lot of inflection, like changes.
What happens if Pokemon closes its doors tomorrow? It's done. Business closed. We're not making shows, not making games, not making cards. Do prices climb?
Drop
Because now we know how many are out there. Like what is out there is out there, and they're not printing anymore. Or do they drop because it's over? Like that's the end of it. Like what is there to continue chasing and playing on? Like what do you think the majority of the mindset would be from people? I don't know what I think.
Yeah, I think it would lose its generationalness. Sports have been around for over 100 years, most of them. So it's extremely generational. Like there's 90-year-olds and then there's freaking 10-year-olds at these places balls deep into sports. We don't have 90-year-olds into Pokemon. That would never, it would happen eventually, but at the same time, there wouldn't be 10-year-olds into Pokemon. Like we would that would drop, the floor would drop on that. Pokemon's success long term is it continuing like sports, being generation after generation. Of course, you're going to have the people pumping the hobby. You're going to have people like PokeRev and Gary King Pokemon, Ken Golden pumping hobby things. But if it's not organically growing generationally, the prices will fall.
I think the only reason it was big in COVID was because it was still active.
Yeah. Being active helps.
Yeah, I think if they stop printing tomorrow, I think interest would dwindle and dwindle and dwindle and dwindle and dwindle. And I feel like there'd be a much larger gap between like the people that want the only of that exists, or the very few, and everything else. Like it's whatever now because it's kind of over. I feel like the gap would widen even further than it already has. It's a very interesting thought.
Yeah, it'd be a wreck.
Yeah,
Sad,
I don't know.
sad.
It's yeah, like for instance, say you collect Maridon,
Yeah.
and they stop printing tomorrow. There's like half a dozen Maridon cards, if that. Like, so that's it. You're done. Like your hobby's over.
Yep.
Well, then you gotta like try and figure. Is there something else I might like? Can I go back? Oh, actually, I really like black and white cards. Or oh, actually, I really like, I don't know, Greninja or something. And okay, now I gotta choose Greninja cards, and there's a bunch of those. But then you got all those, and there's no new ones coming out. Like right now, the primary interest in the hobby is modern, right? That's what's selling. That's where the prices are at. That's where the grading's at. So, like, if modern didn't exist, because that's what we're saying, is if modern was gone, is Pokemon gone? It feels a little bit like that at the moment. That might sound dramatic, but
yeah, there'll be those people that still collect the dead TCG and dog it, but
like Yu-Gi-Oh.
And that's the end of the episode. No. Jesus Christ. Anyways.
I want to see Power World cards. I want to see them.
It's called MetaZoo.
I'm calling it now. I haven't heard a single person talk about that, but I had to say it because it was on my mind. I honestly think they're going to do something.
Again, I haven't heard of Pal World until literally today. I didn't like when you had it in the notes. I was like, "What the fuck is Pal World?" I thought it was like, I have no clue what it was. I couldn't. If you asked me to guess what it was, I would. I was not on the same hemisphere as you.
I'll buy you for your birthday.
Okay, looking forward to it. It's gonna be the next sorcery booster boxes. Ditto Faction. He said Leonhardt will retire from YouTube by the end of 2024 and focus on rare candy. Similar to what I said to Nick, I feel like Lee Steinfeld, I think that's his name. I believe this gentleman is intelligent enough to know the amount of reach he still has on YouTube is substantial. And if you have a website like he does, Rare Candy, I don't think that would have the success it has now, probably without his doing on YouTube. And I don't think he's going to get rid of the free advertisements he has for his own website and just drop off of YouTube. No shot.
Is Rare Candy doing that well?
I don't know if it's doing that well, but it'll do way worse if he leaves YouTube.
I don't think I've heard anyone in the Discord say that they've bought something from Rare Candy.
Old school Pokemon has they're usually it's like decently higher end stuff.
Oh, a big box type stuff.
Yeah, Japanese and there's usually it's not cheap. It's not PWCC weeklies. It's monthly, bi-weekly, something. I don't even know. I've watched a few of them because I've seen cards I've wanted, but they don't sell for free. Maybe a little lower than market, but I feel like they're selling a lot of things that aren't on the market a lot of times.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe that's the niche. That's where they need to
and it's
having that reach. Like, hey, if you want to sell this something special, like this is the place to sell it, kind of thing.
Yeah, and then you're getting Rare Candy eyes and not eBay eyes or Golden eyes or Heritage $1 billion company eyes. Like it's it's tough. You need 2 buyers to bid that boy up.
eBay fired 1,000 employees today.
Fuck them.
10% of the workforce. That's terrifying.
What do all those people do? I wonder that about these freaking internet, like X, Twitter. Are all of them just like customer service people? Like what? Like obviously there's a few development engineers. Is there hundreds of development engineers working on this in the background? Like, man.
I mean, I can think of like the company that I'm at. We just have so many different departments that do so many different things. And I honestly, if they had to fire 1,000 people, I don't know where they would trim that fat because we are lean, like very lean. We don't have much fluff in between. So the people that are left, like that's got to be hard adjustment, like losing those kind of people. I don't know. I don't know what they do or like where they're trimming it from. They also said they were gonna cut out. I guess they use a lot of like third parties, like contractor type employees, and they're gonna basically remove a bunch of those too. So it's not just 1,000 technically, but there was no numbers given on that.
Yeah.
Ugh,
That's crazy. It's a lot of people.
scary. Yeah.
Lots of people.
You want to do one more?
Yeah, run it.
Okay, Danny Dodd, our friend, absolute rock star, said spend money on cardboard to spend money to put in plastic to get a. Wait, didn't we already said this? To put in plastic to get a piece of paper that
this is like an added. I think he added more to it.
he like commented on the comment, yeah. That says 9 to crack the cardboard out of the plastic. You spend money on to sell it quicker at a higher price than in the plastic with a piece of paper that says 9 to do it all over again. Yeah, completely lost. That was a tongue twister. No commas, no periods there. So
yeah, trash.
That was a rough one. But yeah, we're all over the place. Everything's crazy with selling and cracking and resubmitting and then selling raw and then putting it in your binder because nothing worked out and you just lost $100. Yeah, it's all crazy.
Lots and lots of freaking waste. Like I wish like the activists knew about this industry.
Oh God, no.
They gonna shut this shit down.
Yeah, Free Willy's got nothing on this.
Nothing.
Like nothing.
Like the amount of people just ripping UPCs and just throwing all this plastic instantly in the freaking dumpster to grab packs out of it and then ripping those. Those are getting graded, put in the plastic. Pokemon is probably the most toxic thing to the planet besides automobiles.
Don't tell California.
Seriously. Yeah, I don't like Pokemon as a company is probably one of the most nasty companies for being green.
No, it's got to be Werther's Originals.
It's gotta be what?
Werther's Originals. Those little candies that are all individually wrapped. It's got to be stuff like that. There must be so many little candies and chocolates and like Hershey Kisses and like just so many of those little things given at Halloween, at Christmas and birthdays and treats and stuff in offices.
Man, I need me some Reese's now.
Oh, there's got to be so many Reese's wrappers that end up in the trash every week. So many. Unbelievable amounts. Pokemon.
Just for me.
Yeah. I mean, first-hand experience, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. No, I 100% agree. But yeah, it's trashed.
Let's wrap it. I'll see you later, guys. Thank you for listening in. Don't forget, hit that like button, the thumbs up. Give us your spicy topic. We do winners. We do converse on your comments. So don't forget to put your name in the hat for that. It is fun. We enjoy it and we appreciate it, and we love you all. So have a good night. Thanks, Josh. Thanks for a good talk.
Have a good one, y'all. Peace.